Hi, I'm Audrey.
And I'm Laura.
And the problem we were looking at was the Great Pacific Garbage Patch that's out, a garbage patch in the Pacific, formed by water currents. It's really big, and you guys have probably heard of it. The sources we found they're not quite sure how large it is, but one source said 7.7 million square miles and 7 million tons of garbage. But most of this garbage, since it's so spread out, is only up to 9 feet deep, which is pretty deep, but not compared to the depth of the ocean. So most of it's close to the surface, and it's not good. It hurts the animals, and it's pollution. We want to get rid of it.
So a huge contributor to this pollution is, as we know, plastics. And our main concern is trying to find a way that will eliminate plastic. And now a team of researchers in Japan have recently discovered a bacteria known as Ellis sequiensis that is actually capable of breaking down PET plastics, okay? And so the PET plastics are usually in water bottles, some clothing, things made of polyester. And well, we plan on taking the idea of this bacteria and the idea behind these batch reactors where we can bring plastic to these bacteria as a way to feed them and to eliminate some of the plastic waste in the ocean.
So in oil spills, they use skimmers or other boats to pick up the oil and to take it out of there and get rid of it in a better way than in the ocean. So we were planning to use this already made technology to just kind of latch onto it. And so we were gonna, the skimmers can pick up the plastics and then bring them, like the boat on the bottom part of the slide up here. It's got a conveyor belt that could bring the plastics up to the batch reactor. And then the bacteria would be able to break down any PET plastics. There are also ways to separate plastics based on density, and so we would hopefully be able to get the PET plastics separated from other plastics so that the bacteria would be more concentrated. And to test this technology, we would be able to use it on a lot of the articles that the researchers presented on this bacteria said it could be used in like garbage just on land, pollution on land, dumps. That's what it was. To break down plastics in dumps more quickly. And it could be used in other polluted water areas later if it worked well. And that's all we got.
Thanks, guys. Any questions? If you wouldn't mind hitting the mic.
What is the time scale? How long does it take for the bacteria to break down the plastic?
So we found all the information on this is relatively really recent, so there's not much information. I did find an article that mentioned that a set of bacteria was able to completely degrade a thin, small film of low quality PET in 6 weeks. However, it didn't actually give us a good quantity of the size of this plastic, which makes me curious as to how far it's going. But since I think our initial design is going to be targeted more towards the microplastics that float in the water, like not the huge like plastic bags or water bottles, but like the pieces of plastic that have started to break down. But instead of breaking down into organic materials, they've broken down into smaller pieces of plastics. And those are the plastics that our initial design is trying to clean up and break down. So I would assume I'm just taking it as an assumption that 6 weeks would be an accurate estimate of the time it would take these bacteria to digest these plastics that we're targeting.
Thanks. Anything else? Go for it, Alex.
So I missed it. Is it digestion on
Can
the
you
boat? Is it
press and hold? Sorry.
stored off-site? Is it better just to recycle those plastics rather than trying to go through this process?
We were planning to hold the anaerobic sequencing batch reactor on the boats or the skimmers, and hopefully the byproducts would be able to be made into energy, maybe for islands nearby or just to keep the boat going.
Also, it would be better to recycle the plastic initially. However, there is already a huge amount of plastic that's in this ocean, and our idea is a solution to pick out the plastic that's already in there.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.